This is Constance A. Dunn, and I'm on the couch with Smetnjak from Slovenia. What is Smetnjak? Well, the word actually means trash can, and it's a collective of people, artists, philosophers, humans, mainly, who do all sorts of things, mainly political memes, which are shared from user to user via the internet, commenting on culture, politics, celebrities, non-celebrities, interviewing some eccentric artist. They sort of run the gamut of what they do, depending on where the fates lead them. I don't know what else to say, except this was probably one of the most original interviews I have ever and will ever do. And I think listening to it, you'll know why. So, without further ado, Smetnjak. Smetnjak, thanks for joining me. So I'll do a little intro on you later. So for right now, let's just get to it. Do you consider yourselves satirists, philosophers, writers, or just plain old run-of-the-mill common folk? Whoever of you would like to answer that.
We are that we are. We're not saying that because we want to be something special. It's just that we are able to think better through tendencies than through subjects. The civilization of curriculums vitae just makes us cry. LinkedIn is such a miserable place. We really try not to see any hierarchy between the roles and functions you mentioned, but judging from our local Slovenian culture, satirists are horny old goats, satyrs are party-sponsored gestures. Excuse us. Pseudo-philosophy spreads like a virus becoming the world brand. Writers are this Sartarian characters that believe the world should stop revolving when they start talking, and yes, they talk even when they write. Common folk is something very similar to an ordinary detergent from ads, phantom in order to sell something concrete. At the same time, common folk is something that can turn a blind eye on gulag as long as there is some supposedly egalitarian peace and quiet. Identifying or non-identifying shouldn't be about nouns. It should be about verbs. Writers? Absolutely not. But we are interested in writing in this imperfective, infinitive form of doing it. We are trying to do it, and we are kind of doing it, yes. Not being, becoming. Maybe it's not even writing. It's doing this montage that shows and is somewhat sad at showing there are more similarities than differences. Maybe we are a subject, after all. We are dialecticians that are seeing too many similarities and too little differences.
Derelicticians.
Non-functioning dialecticians.
Derelicticians, more like.
Oh, let's pluck that eye out.
Jesus. Does he have to do that?
He's harmless, really. It's actually much more profound than anything I have to offer.
Okay, so we'll continue. Next question I had, what began the memes that you're so well known for? Who started that off?
First, something that goes beyond our will, the sheer reproduction, proliferation of memes, which at one point started sucking on our energies, Second, this idea of a whole new language that we wanted to learn, the joy and pain of being illiterate, and then gradually adopting this peculiar discourse or being adopted by it. Third, meme as this pure randomness, haphazardness, authorless chaos. So thought should be as near as it is possible. It's this delusion, Guattari, Joyceinian, blah blah blah. We believe in the composition of chaos, chaosmos. Fourth, ethics, the shame of it, the pure shame of things. 15 minutes of fame, the eternity of shame.
You've taken people in power positions to task, and by you, I mean the collective, of course. Political, cultural figures, celebrity, certain individual phenomena. Well, everyone, really. Do you think all power should be questioned? Are you anti-authority on principle?
Well, we call ourselves Smetnjak. We treat ourselves as trash. So that gives us the upper hand of thrashing, presumably. Anti-authority sounds very teenagery. For sure, there's something of that in us in our doing of things. But as Foucault says, kind of, power is not something big and fat outside us. It circles round and passes through us, like memes. So the question would be how to fight power beyond the Bondleby formula, but I would prefer not to. This nothingness of the will, and therefore nothingness of power, not goodwill, but no-will hunting. To fight it beyond this evaporation, this fading away, basically. To be or not to be is actually to will or not to will. Anti-authority on principle. This is an expression that sums it up brilliantly. And there's a prince in principle. Who's a prince? He is king to be. He's not king yet. So there's still some chance of a change, chance of something happening other than reproduction of the same. As we know, Hamlet does not become king, but he does not survive either. We love something Nikolai Berdyaev has written. God is not an authority. We believe at least in this sentence.
God is not an authority.
Is he snoring? Or is that... what is that?
It's more of a purr, really. Like an overgrown, dilapidated old cat.
Ah, so he's happy. Good. In that case, we'll continue. Right, back to the memes. Is the target of your criticism the individual or hypocrisy in general?
We would criticize individuals, but we don't see that many of them. Then again, if we found them, we would rather embrace them, criticize them. Not collectivism, the imperative of individualism. The race is individuality, singularity.
We also do not believe in hypocrisy, since we do not believe in the discrepancy between words and deeds. You can always detect one's ways from one's way with words.
Right. Exactly. On that note, right. Moving on. By the way, is that this? What is that? The smell is getting a bit strong. Is that something I just have to deal with, or is this?
Life in the city, sister.
Right. Point taken. Well, we've talked a little bit about the criticism behind your memes, but let's talk about something else. Will we, by we I mean the readers, ever read an essay of admiration or one of hope that comes out of Smetnjak? You alright? Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, Jesus. That's really...
There's this assumption, and they are just criticizing, as if critical thought was something easy. It's not easy, pure and simple. We know our Deleuze and his insistence on positive enterprise, that more American than Americans part of him, that great naivete from the time of Genesis. But we also know our Adorno, this European as Europeans get, who, according to the given scheme, was being negative most of the time. But let's not defend ourselves too much. Our hour-long interview with John Mouse is our love letter, our heart on the sleeve. We don't know what he thinks about. He remains silent about it, but we are still amazed, moved, shattered, fuck it, inspired.
We don't know what he thinks about. He remains silent. Amazed. Moved, shattered, fuck it, inspired.
It's our inspirational video. Every time we watch it, this thought, this fragile thought that has to stutter because it is so rare, so delicate. Thought is a wound. At the end of the day, we are willfully using this horrid expression. It's only the smallest of stages that is of any value. Forget Stadium Rock.
Every time. It's a fragile thought. It's fragile. We have to stir. It's so rare, so delicate. Oh, it's like a wound.
The thing is, we are doing our criticizing in the name of things we admire and hold truest and dearest. The things that are hidden between the lines and have to stay there. The things that are supposed to be dead, but for us are more alive than anything or anyone else.
Well, that's quite beautiful and speaks to a naivete inside yourself as well, I think. Whether you are aware of that or not is beside the point. That's what makes it naive. But in any case, since this is a show about artists from the Balkans, I'd like to switch gears a bit and ask you a little bit about being Slovenian. In general, I've found that Slovenians consider themselves the most quote-unquote civilized of the Balkan people. In your opinion, is your method of questioning these influential persons civilized? Are Slovenians in general these civilized people?
There is no document of civilization which is not at the same time a document of barbarism, states Walter Benjamin's 7th thesis. There is no greater civilization without great barbarism. So, let's assert this. Slovenians are the least civilized and the least barbaric of the Balkan peoples, whatever is meant by Balkan and peoples. It's a double loss for us. Yeah, there is some sleazy patriotism in proclaiming one nation as the world champion of anything, even of blandness. So let's rather say we're second best. We don't know who took the first place, and we don't